Hey everyone, JagTagger93 here with another Doom WAD 2 review. Now this one's a WAD that's after my own heart. It's classic in its intentions, but modern in its polish and care, and this WAD is called Eternal Damnation. The author, DMPhobos, states in the reading file that this 4-map WAD is meant to share the themes of the original starting maps for each of the 4 episodes of Vanilla Ultimate Doom. Each one of these 4 maps really suits the respective episodes in appearance, perhaps the best looking map in my opinion being the 3rd one. It really fits nicely in with the other maps from this episode, and overall this WAD is a lot of fun to incorporate into a playthrough of Doom's original episodes. The gameplay builds on a lot of classic tropes that veteran players will recognize and appreciate. One of the more memorable moments being in the first map where you obtain the yellow keycard. The keycard sits ominously below a flickering circular light that you know that once you just walk in, something bad will happen, something will trigger. Lo and behold, that's exactly what happens. The lights go out, the room fills with monsters, the exit shuts right behind you, and you need to navigate the darkness, dispatch enemies, and find the switch to get out. Now, I absolutely love classic traps like this. The author could have just had the enemies just teleport into the room upon getting the keycard, but it feels so much more immersive and tense for the lights to just abruptly go out, and then the monsters to come in through the open corridors that open up on all sides. This type of multi-directional ambush from different sides, by means of opening passageways, is very reminiscent of classic Dungeons and Dragons adventures and such, and it's a very classic trope of Doom that's repeated again and again in this WAD. Some of the ambush points in the second map, though, are a little cheap in my opinion. Clever, but cheap. Especially when there's very little ammunition to go around on ultraviolence, and going down the wrong hallway at the wrong time may mean wasting what little bullets and shells you have on the enemies to that door that you can't even open yet, realize you can't open it, then have to backtrack with reduced ammo and stuff like that for all the enemies ahead of you. For that reason, the second map is definitely the weakest in my opinion. It has some good moments. I did like the Pinky hallway trap actually, where you're walking down a very, very narrow hallway, you open the door, a Spectre demon's in front of you, and you have to ambush the Spectre demon. If you stop in your tracks and try to backtrack, there's a Pinky waiting for you right behind. So that was a pretty clever trap, but some of the other traps are a bit, not to my liking. Now the third map is very, very solid, but the fourth one is my favorite. Now the colors and architecture of the fourth map are definitely reminiscent of Doom's 4th episode that I flesh consumed, and I absolutely love how the Spider Mastermind and Cyber Demon are used here. Both the Spider Mastermind and Cyber Demon stand over a skull key that you need to progress, but confronting them without the proper hardware definitely means, well, death. There's also a very clever little trap that's meant to bring the unaware player face to face with the Cyber Demon early. The trap is made using a platform, a rising platform, a first aid kit, and pinkies to pressure the player into position. So look out for it and definitely be careful. Now the placement of these powerful enemies in relation to the player, where other enemies come in from as well, often means that you have to really watch where you stand and keep alert to what's happening outside of your field of view. Now this is a skill that experienced players know, and it's kind of hard to describe, but if you've played Doom or any similar FPS for any length of time, you know exactly what I mean. It's kind of like being able to see things that aren't even on screen and react to them appropriately, just by using memory, sound, and timing. This type of gameplay, where you're presented with an obstacle that you need to regularly avoid until you're properly equipped to defeat it, is something not done enough in Doom WADs in my opinion. Usually the obstacle that prevents the player from progressing is a locked door or some puzzle. Very rarely is it a monster like a Cyber Demon or a Spider Mastermind. Also, the Cyber Demon and Spider Mastermind are pretty much landlocked and stationary. Now ordinarily that means a good thing. Ordinarily that's great, so they can't chase you down. However, here it would be better or easier if they weren't, if they could chase you. That way you could instigate monster infighting and move away from the key and try to finish the map early. Doesn't happen here. They're locked in position, and they almost act like doors in and of themselves, really, in that these doors are meant to block your progression, and the only way you can continue on with the map is to go through them. And, unlike a door where you use a key to go through it, here you just need to find enough ammunition and take them out. And once you do, it's very, very rewarding. Overall, each map is very competently done, features some nice running and gunning gameplay where prioritizing targets while on the move is an absolute must for survival, especially on ultraviolence. There's some neat traps and ambushes, great gameplay, and all with a very nice classic presentation that I really, really appreciate. So overall, Eternal Damnation earns a very solid 8 out of 10 for me. On Hurt Me Plenty, each episode should take about 20 minutes to complete, so there's definitely about an hour to an hour and a half here of quality content to play through minimum. Definitely give this one a try for the weekend. And that is it. Thank you all so much for watching. This is JagTagger93 signing out. Y'all have a good one.